Hi, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters, and today we're going to be building the new Dragon German 3-ton truck with the 2cm flak gun in the back. Let's get started. Okay, while we're getting started, as you know, I like to use classical music as a background for all my videos. Some love it, some not so as much. A few reasons I do use classical music is, first of all, I find it kind of relaxing when we're building the model kit. Second, and most importantly, most classical music is old and therefore doesn't fall under current copyright laws. I would love to change it up with some different music from now and then, but if you choose wrong and your sound is removed by YouTube and you won't be able to hear anything on the video. So for right now, I find it easy just to use classical music over and over again. This kit comes with a very detailed engine and chassis and transmission, all those other parts underneath there. I decided to build it on that, even though I'm going to close up the side just to kind of show you what comes with the kit. But it was a very nice looking engine inside. Okay, in this next section right here, assembling the wheels, I found the instructions to be a little unclear. You have to really study them because there's two different variations you can build of this kit. One is just the regular 4x2 truck. The second one, which is the one we're building in this video here that has the flak gun, they strengthened up the wheel section a little bit more. They gave it dual wheels in the back, and they have very specific pieces that go with each part of it. So you really have to watch closely what you're doing on this so as not to use the wrong parts. When you go to attach the wheels too, be very, very careful. They've used very, very small connection points, and you really want to get as much gluing surface as you possibly can in there, because it becomes very, very fragile. As we go forward here, you'll notice that you don't see all of the construction on the 2cm flak gun and a few of the other pieces. This kit is very detailed, almost too detailed. They have done some incredibly small parts that are very difficult to assemble properly, and filming and trying to get up really close, I was constantly in the way, so I've just left that part out. The best thing to do is just follow the instructions. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it was really hard to get a photography going on that. Okay, we're going to start with the painting process now. you'll notice right off the top that I've left the cab top off. The reason I did this is so I can paint the interior and get the glass in without messing up the glass too much. Another thing you'll notice too is I've left some of the little tiny little parts off the side, like some of the clasps and latches and things like that. I find that those will be much easier to put on after we're done painting and weathering. That way we won't knock any of them off and break them. We're going to start off using Tamiya German Gray. We're going to spray the entire model with it, and then after that we're going to go over with a little NATO black in some of the cracks and around the wheels and things like that to give it a little shadow effect. This will be the first step in our painting process. Okay, what we've done here now is I've painted the interior a reddish brown for like the leather interior. I've also given a shadow effect to most of the model, and then I've taken and I've sprayed the entire model kit with Tamiya's Flak Clear. That's going to seal in all this paint and give us a nice base for our next coat of paints. Okay, I've decided to do this one in North Africa, and I want to do a real beaten up paint job of the desert yellow paint that they had over the gray. A lot of the desert yellow scratching off from the sand and the wind. What I'm going to do now is, now that the Flak Clear has dried, I'm going to take and coat it with hairspray, give it a couple, not too heavy coats on it, and let that dry, and then we'll start the next paint job. And that's about how thick we're going to put the hairspray on. We'll let that dry for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll start the next coat of paint. Okay, now we're going to spray the entire model with Tamiya's Desert Yellow XF59. It doesn't have to be a super dark coat because a lot of this we're going to scratch off in a few minutes. Okay, now that that paint has dried, we're going to take a toothbrush dipped in water and we're going to start scrubbing away at some of the side panels, and this will rehydrate the hairspray and start to pull off some of the desert yellow color in chunks and make it look like it's scratched and chipped off. Now I'm going to take XF57 Buff and I'm going to spray it over the basically the whole model, and this will dull down some of the chipped off paint sections. Okay, in this step right here, we're going to dry brush the tires a little bit. What this is going to do is this is going to make the tire look like a tire, but still have the dirt and dust in between the treads. And if you feel like you've put too much on, don't worry about it. You can always go back over it with a little bit more dust at the very end. Also going to do a little dry brushing on some of the edges that will be handled a little bit and some of the dust will be wearing off. I always find it's good to do your dry brushing and your dust and coats. You can always do it in layers, and this will give it a deeper, more worn look. Okay, using a little German gray, we're going to do a little more dry brushing up around the hood and stuff. Kind of. Overall, I found the kit to be very, very detailed. Nice, crisp lines. All the fine detail was there. One problem I had, I thought there was way too many connection points. There are like 5,000 little nubs that you have to cut off and sand on everything it seems like you do on this kit. I know it's probably minor, but got a little tedious after a while. Other than that, kit was very nice. Okay, I've put the windshield in and the door handles and some of the other little parts in it as well. I've put one more final light coat of dust on it, kind of blend it all together. And I'll show you the inside. Second there. I also put a little bit of stuff in the back there, some tarps, some boxes, things like that. I hope you enjoyed our model build today, and stay tuned, we've got a lot more coming.